as I wove through the crowded market. The smell of exotic spices and fresh bread filled my nostrils. I had been a thief for as long as I could remember. And this market was my playground. I knew every alleyway, every hidden corner, and every unsuspecting mark. But today, something caught my attention. A group of shady-looking characters huddled in the corner, speaking in hushed tones. I recognized one of them. A man named Grimgold. A ruthless crime lord who would stop at nothing to get what he wanted. I watched from a distance, curiosity getting the better of me. What were they planning? I had worked with Grimgold before, but I had always been careful to keep my distance. He was not a man to be trusted. As I observed, a figure emerged from the shadows. It was a young woman, no more than 20 years old. She was dressed in a simple tunic, but there was something about her that caught my eye. She seemed different. Grimgold handed her a small pouch, and she nodded before disappearing into the crowd. I followed her, my instincts telling me that something was off. She led me on a wild goose chase through the market, dodging vendors and shoppers with ease. I was impressed. She was quick and agile, and I found myself enjoying the chase. Finally, she ducked into a small alleyway, and I followed. That's when I saw it. A small, intricately carved box in her hand. I recognized the symbol on the box. It was the mark of the royal family. Suddenly, it clicked into place. Grimgold was planning to steal from the royal family, and this young woman was his pawn. I felt a pang of unease. I had always been a thief, but I had never been one to betray my kingdom. I approached her, my hand on the hilt of my dagger. "What are you doing?" I asked, trying to keep my voice low. She turned to me, a look of fear in her eyes. "I'm just trying to survive," she said, her voice shaking. Grimgold promised me a fortune if I helped him. I sighed, feeling a pang of sympathy for her. She was just a pawn in Grimgold's game, and she didn't know any better. But I did. I knew that if Grimgold succeeded, the consequences would be disastrous. The royal family would be humiliated, and the kingdom would be plunged into chaos. I had to stop him. I looked at the young woman, and I knew what I had to do. "Come with me," I said, offering her my hand. "I'll help you get out of this." She hesitated for a moment, then took my hand. Together, we made our way back through the market, avoiding Grimgold's henchmen at every turn. We finally reached the safety of my hideout, a small room above a tavern. I locked the door behind us, and turned to her. "What's your name?" I asked. "Arya," she replied, her eyes still wide with fear. I nodded, trying to reassure her. "Don't worry, Arya, I'll protect you, but we have to stop Grimgold." She nodded, determination in her eyes. We spent the rest of the day gathering information, trying to figure out Grimgold's plan. Finally, we had a lead. He was going to strike at midnight. During the royal ball, we knew we had to act fast. We made our way to the palace, avoiding the guards and making our way to the throne room. As we entered, I saw Grimgold, a triumphant look on his face. He had the royal jewels in his hand, and he was about to make his escape. I drew my dagger, ready to strike, but as I looked at Arya, I saw something that made my heart sink. She was standing next to Grimgold, a look of betrayal in her eyes. "You fool," Grimgold sneered, his eyes glinting with triumph. "You thought you could stop me? Arya here has been working for me all along." I felt a pang of shock, my mind reeling with the implications. I had trusted her, and she had betrayed me. I charged at Grimgold, my dagger flashing in the light. But it was too late. He had already set his plan in motion, and the guards were closing in. I fought hard, but I was outnumbered. As I fell to the ground, I saw Arya's face, her eyes filled with tears. "I'm sorry," she whispered, before Grimgold dragged her away. I lay there, my vision fading to black. I had failed. Grimgold had won, and the kingdom would pay the price. I knew that I would never be able to show my face in this kingdom again. I was a thief, a traitor, and a failure. The last thing I remembered was the sound of Grimbold's laughter, echoing through the throne room.